You know, and I know, and they know, and we know, we go all in. You know, and I know, they know, cause we know, we go all in.
Oh, you caught me, pimp, you caught me. Ladies and gentlemen, Tic Tacs. Welcome to the newest edition of What You've Been Missing. It's your boy KDizzle DC. To my left, your right, it's the homie Have Streams. It feels like forever. Does it feel forever? It's been too long. Way
Who are
too long.
you, man? Who are you and where have you been, sir? Who is this man on our screen? I just want to make sure we got the talent right for the YouTube viewers because I was looking at our old episodes. I think somewhere along the lines, KDizzle, you messed it up. I was on the other side, but I think it's right tonight.
It's right now. We got to remember where the sides we supposed to be at.
Yeah, man, we can't be doing nobody else. We can't be throwing, consistency.
What's going on, half a lump, man? Hey, we got to recap really quick. Ladies and gentlemen, I know again, welcome to the newest edition of What You've Been Missing. This is episode 104. 104. Glad to be back with you, but most importantly, glad to be back with my brother because he's been doing some big things. But I want to talk. Hey, Kim. I want to talk.
What's up, Kimmy?
Recapping your visit to the South, to AKA God's waiting room. That will be the state of Florida.
I'll tell you what. Are you asking me?
I'm asking you to recap it, man.
So if anybody missed this on the first Sunday of this month, we usually go first and third Sunday, which is why we're recording tonight. Your man Have Streams was at Disney World, man. Went down there with the family last minute. Had a great time with the family, of course. I can't begin without talking shit about Spirit Airlines, man.
You didn't tell me you took Spirit.
And I don't want to hear. What's up, Danita? I don't want to hear. Hey, Dizzle, let me say this.
Hey,
I don't want to hear. That's what you get for flying Spirit.
That's what you get for flying Spirit, my guy.
First off, it wasn't my choice. It was Shanae's choice. But neither here nor there. I can't accept that's what you get, man, because our butt in seat flight time, which is where I count when your ass hits the seat on the plane from Orlando back to Baltimore, was 5 hours.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave it there, man. Why are we sitting on the plane for 5 hours? But other than that, if you want to save a dime, go with Spirit. I never will. I'm not gonna mess with them. And they sit there and look at you like they don't give a damn about how you feel.
They don't.
There's no concern about how long you've been sitting on the tarmac. They don't even care that they were late, which is why you're still sitting there. We're waiting for their crew. So, to hell with Spirit Airlines. Florida humidity is my number 2 biggest takeaway from this trip. Florida humidity will beat the shit out of you. I'm talking about will take the life out of you, especially if you're exercising and walking around Disney like we were. I'm talking about it rains for like 5 or 10 minutes real hard. Yep. And then it gets sunny again and it gets hotter another 20 degrees. So outside of, having great moments with, Nova, she got to see Minnie Mouse. I loved it. That was the highlight for the trip, KDizzle. When baby girl got to see Minnie Mouse, at the breakfast with Minnie. But had a great time, man. Besides the heat, all the walking, and then of course the Disney staff telling you what to do every time they get a goddamn chance. Stay in here, move here.
Because it's like 7 parades a day. You got to be out of the way, bro. It's a whole production. But look, shout out to Spirit Airlines, please, ladies and gentlemen, if you can spare the extra $75, take a little bit higher to.
Are we getting there?
Southwest. Now, go to Southwest, get them a little bit higher than Southwest, and please save yourself chiropractor visits, aggravation, the
Well,
headache, and the life minutes involved.
I mean,
Yeah.
the flight attendant that we had, because I was 3 rows from the front, so I was there right where the flight attendant was. If I was on there for the flight a lot of time that I was expecting, the 1 hour, 50-minute flight, I could have dealt with the smell of his cologne.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You said it was a 2-hour flight
Yes,
that ended up taking 5 hours.
legitimately.
All right. That's all I need to know.
Literally. So I'm not even going to give you the details of why it took so long, but trust me, the whole flight, by the end of the flight, you started hearing other people's personalities and how gangster certain people was going. I heard a Karen, she started dropping F-bombs, and I was in support. I was like, go, Karen, go. She was like, oh, fuck this.
So
I'm not going.
what is the equivalent of riding in a Spirit Air flight? Like if you were to equate that, is that like
It's like walking on hot coals after a day of working 12 hours on your feet.
no. So let's say like Emirate, United Emirates is like the Wegmans. Let's use grocery
Where
stores,
you
okay?
going with
Like
this?
UAE's is the Wegmans, right? And let's say Delta is I don't know. Yeah. Safeway. Well, we putting them at either Aldi level or we put them at shoppers level. Where are we going with this?
Put it like this:
'Cause-
if it was a department store, it'd be 4 Mon Mills, and if it was a grocery store, it's definitely gonna be Aldi. I mean, because it's just made it to a franchise. It's still not mom and pop.
Did it
But
make you buy? Did it make you buy your seatbelt clamped?
man, you gotta
I don't. I
pay.
just don't. I don't know.
You got to meet her in the bathroom.
You so-
But it's
you
terrible
lie.
though, man. Because they making millions still. I'm not buying it. I'm not going for it.
Fully said it's the little corner store joint. So they sell.
And then when you
You got
start, but here's the thing: I got to say this one part. I should have
okay.
known some shit was going down because the flight got delayed off break.
Uh huh.
But while we're waiting for the flight at the gate, a lady's in a wheelchair. She probably like 45, 50. Little black lady in a wheelchair. She looked like she was still kind of young, like she could move. But I ain't gonna go there. But here's the thing: she's screaming at the top of her lungs like, "Y'all motherfuckers don't know what the fuck y'all are doing." And I'm thinking they wheeled her somewhere and left her ass where they wasn't supposed to. But she's screaming at the Spirit Airlines staff so bad. I'm looking around like, man, but I should have took it as a sign because she was telling everybody, you in for a long night. But like I said though, man, that's not gonna steal my joy. I know we've been talking about Spirit for a minute, y'all. We're gonna talk about some other stuff.
You'll talk
Welcome
about
to the
some other
chat. Welcome to the chat. If you're in here live with us, I see Danita rocking with us. What up, Mr. Foley? And
stuff.
my man Sal, we're gonna talk about Steph Curry bailing out my man Le Captain America.
No.
Le Capitan Sacre Bleu
Somebody
of
said
America.
Spirit Airlines give out hot pockets for in-flight meals.
They don't do combos, man.
The combos. That's cold.
They got
They
dollar
only got
meal.
one flavor. Look, let's before we get in deep to that sports stuff, man. Let's talk about what you have going on. The episodes that have just dropped on YouTube. We can't do it without talking about the Climbback series.
Dollar Tree. See, he's talking about dollar stores now. What up, Mike? You talking about the Climbback series, KDizzle?
Yep.
The Climbback series, my baby, that I've been really putting some time and effort in. Again, man, much love to Mr. Foodie, my videographer that's been right there with me. We just finished two major episodes, one with Cashland, with my guy John Cash out of Baltimore, one of the longest tenured clothing lines that's really been a brand that represented the city for like the past 25 years.
Uh-huh.
Much love to John Cash. Interview was crazy. What up, Mike? Appreciate you sliding through, bro. But yeah, man, John Cash dropped a lot of gems. If you have a chance, go by Hef Streams Media on YouTube. Check out the interview with John Cash and Cashland. We're right in his store. It's on Bayard Street out in Baltimore. Very nice store. You'll see when you walk in what I'm talking about. And not only does his clothes have, top-notch quality, but The man was full of business gems and wisdom overall. So if you want to watch a good interview, go by the channel, check it out. And then we got my man Tony Foster, owner
Okay.
of New Orleans Lounge, New Orleans Restaurant Lounge. You know, another major spot in Baltimore, real nice restaurant. It's got a Miami feel, KDizzle. So
Okay.
it's not like your traditional Baltimore spot. He even said it himself. He wanted to kind of like market towards like the DC crowd. Like
Mhm.
you know how DC, we got the ambiance, we got the decor. So he's got a real nice setup out there. If you get a chance, go by the Noir Restaurant Lounge. That interview's coming out this week. And yeah, man, we just keeping it going. Got tons of ideas. If you want to collab with me, just send me a DM on Instagram, or you can always email me at halfstreams@gmail.com. But you know, many more episodes are coming for the Climax series.
Let's go. Have streams is rolling in full effect, man. Y'all go make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. That's what you're supposed to say. That's what you're supposed to do on YouTube, on everything we got going on. So
Man,
look,
show us some love so we can keep the content going, man. What up, Big Roland? Appreciate your support as
Big
always,
Rollins in the
bro.
building. Everybody in the building. We love y'all for stopping through. Hey, so before we break into this, let me show this video really quick. Let me show this video because it's important context. Okay, it's important context. The Paris
Uh-oh.
Olympics just concluded, but we're gonna talk about it a little bit.
Uh-oh.
And we're gonna talk about this right here. Look, man. Look, man. Hey, look. Let's be real, right? This is the women's. If you weren't under a rock,
Oh my.
biggest issue with the Paris Olympics, okay, and the biggest one. All right, first year for breakdancing. Okay, I don't know if you've been paying attention, have I don't know if you've seen that.
What?
If you, so breakdancing for the first year, I will say this. Let me just say this. Let me preface this. Okay, that picture you right there, that's from Australia. That's their representation. If you talking about the biggest grift known to man, is griffing your country into you representing them in the Olympics for the first year of breakdancing, and your ass knows nothing about breakdancing. Shout out to I got to get her name again. I just closed it. Shout out to whatever her name is from
Well,
Australia.
I mean, shame on who? Shame on Australia for not auditioning. They took her word for it. She must have really sold them on whatever she said, or she had some type of highlight film because apparently she made it out there with no real pre-screening.
And let me say this. Let me say this too. There was some real breakdancing out there. I'm going to share this too because
Yeah,
that's
like
the only thing
don't
that
clown the sport. I agree with you,
I'm
K.
not
It
clowning
was
sport,
some
right?
real.
But
It
there
was
was
some
some
real
real
breakdancing.
breakdancing out there, right? There was some real breakdancing live and direct. It was doing their
It
thing.
was.
Hey.
So
Whoa. Okay, we're going.
let's not take that clip viral as to say they weren't out there really doing it.
No, yeah, they was out there doing their thing.
Put the shirt back on. Oh man, these guys.
It was
okay,
out
so-
there getting it, putting the work in. But
I
what
got
we
respect for
saw,
the sport.
yeah, what we saw on social media was bananas. It was absolutely bananas. So if you caught the women's and caught some of that, that half-ass stuff that came out there, please
Man,
don't let that be the absolute representation.
the
But
move that she
overall,
was holding, though, where she was freezing and posing, where she was hitting the moves, they were so trash. I was just like, man, at what point were they gonna throw the towel in? Can you throw the towel in a breakdancing match? Because she should have got the Sandman out that joke.
you can throw the talent. You can definitely
Somebody,
throw
it should have been real, and they should have gave her a hook
you
off the
should have
stage.
came out there. I'm gonna put
But
it back
look,
up on the screen.
before we go to the gold medal men's Olympic basketball match, you got to give me your stance on um homegirl that had the world of buzz with her high testosterone levels. That was out there boxing. Where do you stand? Where do
Uh,
you stand, K Dizzle, before we go on about that? Because a few group chats that I was in, they was on fire, man. I didn't know it had the world in such an uproar. They said the girl wasn't a girl. She had the chromosome of a man. She's in boxing in a sport where strength and gender is very important, I would say.
mhm.
I've never seen really intergender boxing matches go down or sanctioned anywhere legally. So outside of everything, what do you think about it, man? The girl that she fought in that match that caused the controversy. She quit after the like one punch was landed in 45 seconds. But they say she's a girl. What do you think?
All right, so here's the deal, right? Everybody, the problem was people jumped onto this story. You got your influencers, your clickbait people, everybody who wants to be popular jumped onto this story without knowing the entire truth of it all. So Iman Khalif, she was representing Nigeria, I believe. Um, is a female boxer. She was born female, um, but she was born with both X and Y chromosomes, which go do your math, go do your science, go back and just look it up.
That's
You're
some
born with
people
both.
stop there though, Dizzle, and say when that is the occurrence, you're automatically a man. Again, I'm not a biologist, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but
She's been living her entire life as a woman.
okay.
Okay. And everybody jumped on it saying, oh, she's transgender, cisgender, without knowing all the information. And they came out there and they ran with it and they looked stupid because once the information came out that no, she's actually a woman, everybody had to send out retractions. I apologize, da, 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 da. But that's just the nature of the internet. When you want to run with a story and create your own narrative, y'all gonna be out here looking stupid before you actually do some fact checking. That's what the problem with that was. And so it just started to push a narrative of negativity towards this young lady who was just living out her dream, actually representing her country in the Olympics. Now we could be saying the same thing about our breakdance lady, but the truth of the matter is, ma'am, you can't breakdance with a damn. I don't know who you lied to get there, and I don't know who you freaking went and showed that. But Slim, that ain't it. This is two different situations.
But
They're
the
two different
lady
circumstances.
that's breakdancing ain't throwing left hooks like Shorty.
No, they're not throwing left and right hooks. They
You
not. They
know,
have nothing to do with your
I
gender.
just
They
I
have
just
everything
asked
to
the
do with
question
personality.
like how would you feel, man? Like if one of your daughters was in the ring with the girl, like I guess just beforehand you just got to take heed to the fact that she's that much bigger and stronger. But
Slim, if you are willing to get in the ring with somebody and throw punches at them, I don't care. And you know what the
you got to take the chance
deal is.
to be a dude.
Hey, you're gonna take that. You're gonna take that. That's it. I'm not gonna mad. If you choose to step in the ring and fight, you know what you got to do. You got to get in there and fight. You got to win. Whether it's a male or a female, you already know what the circumstances are.
Okay.
Don't sit there and say, okay, well, this guy was a man and he was a man and changed to a woman. He was a woman and changed to a man. We understand the physics of it. Men are built differently from women, structurally, just all around differently. When you get into sports and everything like that, that does play a role. It does play a huge role. This is boxing. In this
Combat sport.
situation, in this situation, she wasn't ever a man. She was a woman from the get-go. It was
So,
never
so what you're
situated.
saying is, at the end of the day, the chromosome didn't matter. She's a woman. She just had high testosterone.
Correct.
All right.
100%.
So that's where we at. Let's go
That's
ahead
what
and
we
move on to the game that everybody was watching. Everybody really wanted to see the men's U.S. basketball team lose. That's the feeling I had, KDizzle. A lot of people,
You really think they were gonna lose?
nah, I didn't think they want to lose, but a lot of people wanted to see them lose. I think there's still a lot of LeBron James haters out there. But that's the only way you could have wanted to see this team lose because this team here, to me, was like the celebration of all of our, basketball superheroes of the late 2000s. It was fitting that your boy, like Sal said, Steph Curry, cooked in the gold medal game against France.
Mhm.
A lot of people were saying, where's Steph? He ain't been looking like himself. Jason Tatum couldn't get on the floor because he was 0 for 16. He didn't make a jump shot in the Olympics, literally.
I think it was
It's
two.
crazy that his two players on his team got more burn than he got from the Boston Celtics and Derek White and your boy Drew. So Steph Curry came out there cooking, man. The fourth quarter, he had like 4 or 5 threes that he hit back to back to back.
Yeah. Joel
Even in,
Embiid was
even
cooking too.
Embiid, even Embiid got some burn, Sal. I can't even hate on Embiid. He got in there, he was effective in a couple of games, but I'm telling you, the '80s babies went crazy, Arizona, because LeBron was out there driving down the court. I'm concerned. Like, what are you taking back to LA? Like, he was out there balling. Like, he wasn't going to come back. Like, it was incredible, man. What you think about it?
He went out there to show out. To show up and
I'm
show out
telling
that
you,
I still
man.
got it. I think the other thing too is it's so when you're on a team of superstars,
Right.
okay? You're on a team of absolute superstars,
Mega superstars.
mega superstars, the best in the game. And so you can go out there unabashed, unabated, knowing that if you miss a shot, 2 or 3 or 4 are going to pick it up. You know what I'm saying? You know that you got to your left ring or your right wing, somebody who's going to play hard, somebody who's going to make the shot. And so when you got a supporting cast like that, you play a lot differently. Okay, you play hella differently. You play loose, you play free, and you play fun. And it looked like they were having fun. And
Some players weren't having so much fun.
when he go back to LA, who he got? AD.
Man, AD was doing this thing in the Olympics, man.
So because the weight of the world was off their shoulders. Now they
So
can
why
go
was
in
Tatum
there.
struggling so bad?
Why is who?
Why was Tatum playing so poorly?
Tatum was playing bad because Tatum ain't had the weight on his shoulders. He
This-
could have been succumbed to stardom and not being able to perform. Who knows? You know, because that's a lot of pressure. You get put out there. All right, Tatum, shoot. He'll show up, sit on the bench. Collect your goal while we finish it.
So what do you think about Steph's performance?
Steph's performance is Steph. Steph don't change. He do the same thing in Golden State. He do the same thing on the stage, world stage. I think they just let him cook. Let that man cook the whole series.
He looked at the
Every
crowd.
game
He said, "Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Don't look for where I'm at because I'm right here in the gold medal game." Yeah, man, he had me so excited, man. And I was really, just proud to see the light skin, the light skin, sharp shooting
Here we
phenom.
go. Here we go. The
You
lights.
know, it was incredible, man. So
Yeah, I
loved
don't
it.
understand it. I don't understand the LeBron haters, man. I don't understand where that's coming from. Just let that man cook. He's 22 years in the game now.
It's crazy.
21.
I saw a picture of Steph Curry standing beside Carmelo when he was on the sideline watching him years ago, with Carmelo's son as like a baby.
Yeah.
Like these generations, man, are just going by so fast. Like we're at the twilight of Steph and LeBron's career. Like
Yeah,
we need to really sit back and appreciate greatness because we just were able to witness a long time of greats from Michael Jordan to Kobe to LeBron, AI, Steph Curry. So it was greatness, man. Capped
Yeah.
off with a gold medal win. Respect to Team USA. Sha'Carri did her thing. Sha'Carri did her thing, man.
Indeed. You heard about the controversy on the 100 and why the Jamaicans weren't there. Did you hear that?
No. Break it
Okay.
down.
All right. So they announced it when the race started, right? Because Sha'Carri had been chasing the Jamaicans forever. She missed out 4 years ago in the last Olympics. She made it this one. So apparently the night before, they made rule changes saying that you could no longer go into the gate where all of the athletes go in unless you were riding in on the bus from the village. Now,
Oh,
the Jamaicans, a few others, and Sha'Carri and the Olympic team were not staying in the village because there were a lot of stuff like they had no AC over there. It was this,
right,
that, and
crazy
the other.
in that jump.
Right. So when they got to the gate, then they weren't on the bus, they were not allowed in. And so the only way they had to get in was they had to walk around, which was like, I don't know how they said it was like an hour of a distance, how they walk around to get into the stadium, and they missed warm-ups and everything else. And so the Jamaicans dropped out. And that's why they were not running that race in that race with her. So Sha'Carri didn't get to warm up. She didn't get to ready. She had to extend that energy to go around to wherever she had to go to get into the Olympic Stadium in order to do it. But I guess she said, and a couple other people said, I'm not going to miss my chance in the Olympics and do what she needed to do to get in there. She got third.
I don't buy that KDizzle at all.
She got third, and that's what it is. So that was a big controversy that happened during the Olympics. But look, I don't take anything away from her. I don't take anything away from the other people. Situations, circumstances that could have been avoided. She still ran a good race. She won the 4x100, and the USA Women's ran the 4x400. So did the men. The men killed it too. Um, I think there was a couple standouts. I think it was Quincy Hall that made an astonishing comeback. I should find that clip.
Ain't
You know,
Quincy from PG County?
no, I don't think he's from PG County.
There's a kid from PG County, and I'm sorry I don't got his name because obviously that's what we want to, give some shine to, and I should look it up. But I thought that his name was Quincy as well. But Noah Lyles, man, as much shit as he talked, and as much people that hate on him for what he said about the NBA players last year, he really represented and took the 100. Apparently he raced with COVID and got bronze
Correct. Correct.
in the 200. So a lot of interesting storylines.
There's some great storylines, man. Some great storylines. Overall, we did great in the Olympics. I think we represented very well. Um, I gotta watch. There's some that I'm gonna watch again when it comes around in the 4 years. We're gonna watch intently the breakdancing, also badminton. Go back and watch some of those clips, y'all. That was aggressive. That was a good sport for the Olympics, as well as
Ping pong.
table tennis. Table tennis is an aggressive sport for the Olympics too. Y'all need to watch out for all those other random joints. I know we do swimming, we do track and field, we do football. We do basketball. Excuse me, basketball, water polo was crazy. Uh,
Men's
you
beach
know,
volleyball had a retired NBA player, Chase Budinger,
yeah,
playing.
you find all these random sports we don't normally watch. We become experts in for the whole 2 weeks or 3 weeks, however long it is. Enjoy it, then we go back to normal. But it was good. I think we did great. It was a little little situation that tied us over from all the crap that's going on in the world right now. Take us away from that. So
It's fitting that you got the Olympics every election year.
it just happens that way. For the US election, it just happens that way. Um, look, one of the best times of the year is upon us. Okay. The best time of the year is upon us. And all the pundits and all the people come out of the woodworks and put all their 2 cents in, and it all shakes out one way. And you know what that is, my friend. Let me switch this up.
What's that, KDizzle?
Huh? Football season is here. Football season is upon us. Preseason games have showed up. We still got some holdouts. We still got some crazy stuff. I got Commanders fans.
I think the
Jaden Daniels is
the
the
chat
next
was
coming of
thinking
Peyton Manning.
he was talking about the election.
No, we ain't there yet. We ain't there yet. It's the next coming of Peyton Manning.
Who is?
Drew Brees, and freaking I don't know who else you want to put in there.
Who you talking about, KDizzle?
I'm talking about Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels, JD5. You heard it first here on the All Dressed Up podcast. The Commanders will win 10 games this year, sir. 10 games. I said it right here on the All Dressed Up podcast. Clip it.
10 games.
Post it. Share it to your people. The Commanders are going to win 10 games. That's what I know.
Look, he got to explain it to his co-host. Who they going to win 10 games?
Yeah, they're going to. What you about to say? Who?
Easy.
Don't slow me down. Don't slow me down, Sal, because we got a quarterback this year. And if he stays healthy, I'm telling you,
10 games.
They're going to win 10 games, man. Now,
all right, so I got a harder question. They have 6 in-division games. What's their in-division record?
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
4-2.
4-2?
4-2. They lose a game.
That means you can go ahead. I need to hear this.
They sweep the Giants.
Okay.
And they split with the other two. And I'm not liking the Cowboys at all. I mean, we haven't even talked about the Cowboys. They ain't signed CeeDee Lamb to his extension. He's pissed. Jerry Jones ain't paying him no attention. Outside of CeeDee Lamb, they looking a little rough out there. I watched them in the preseason today. I mean, I know it's just preseason, but Cowboys look like they're missing a piece or two. They were playing Michael Parsons at running back in practice. I don't think that's a joke. I think that was serious. I think they really need to get something going. They don't have any run game. They let everybody go. It's almost like another New England Patriots situation. Like
they brought back Ezekiel Elliott, didn't they?
Come on. Brought back Ezekiel Elliott. Like, With that being said, outside of Dak Prescott, who do you have? They got a good line. They got Dak Prescott, so they're going to be competitive. They did also play Zeke at center, Sal. You saw how that went. So I think the Cowboys are going to fall back. I think the Eagles are going to win 10 or 11 games, and I think the Giants are going to be in the basement.
You won't give us more than 11? We won 11 last year.
I know. I don't see how you improved.
Oh, no
Tell me,
Saquon
tell,
Barkley?
tell me how you improved. I don't think that's an improvement. You let
That's
go of
not an
Swift.
improvement.
You let go of Swift. You know.
Saquon Barkley is not an improvement over DeAndre Swift.
Do you think Saquon Barkley coming in over DeAndre Swift is going to win you more games this year?
I think it'll help. And you know what I think will help us win more games? Kellen Moore, Vic Fangio, our coordinators.
The last
That's
thing your guys need is more toys to play with because they don't know how to use them. You know that. Y'all talk
okay.
about your coordinators all the time. Don't get me started about the Eagles tonight.
Okay. Look,
You're giving them Saquon Barkley in the first 3 games. If he doesn't perform, all eyes are going to be on Saquon Barkley. You know
oh,
it.
that's Philly. That's Philly media for you. So it don't even matter. Don't even matter. But look, football season is upon us. We've gone through our first week of preseason games. Everybody looks fantastic in the preseason, with the exception of a few. Carolina still looks terrible. Uh, Covey is going to light it up. You talking about a punt returner? Now, why are you even talking about a punt returner in preseason, man?
Who is this guy
I
Covey that Sal keeps talking about?
Britton Covey. It's Britton Covey, our punt returner. He tripping. Look,
He's the Eagles punt returner.
yeah, he is Eagles punt returner.
Oh,
He
so
tripping.
that's
He
what
talking
y'all
about him.
excited about.
Yeah, he's super excited about the punt return. I have no idea why. There's so many other reasons you can be excited, but he talking about the punt return. It's ridiculous to me. Look, he is wide. He's like wide receiver 5. Let's be real here. So, what is going to happen with Brandon Ayuk?
He doesn't want to play in San Fran.
So I heard he turned down 32 mil a year with the Patriots.
He doesn't want to play for New England.
I understand that. But is he a wide receiver 1 or is he a wide receiver 2?
He's a wide receiver 1 in the right offense. He's not going to be a Randy Moss style wide receiver 1 either. He's going to be an Amon-Ra, St. Brown type wide receiver 1. But that's going to require a lot of other talent around him. He's not going to be able to go to a team like the Patriots and have the same effect, in my opinion.
Correct. So if you want a deal and you turn down average or WR1 money, is it about money? Is it about respect?
I just think that he wants to get the type of deal that the Patriots offered, and he doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to play for New England. See, what it sounds like to me is San Fran's actually working with him because they can move him to New England, and it wouldn't be his decision.
That is New England and or Cleveland. So I've heard a couple different things here. What's up, baby?
So Cleveland's a good fit for him. I think
Cleveland might be a good fit for him. But the problem is he only, because I understand not wanting to go to the Patriots because the Patriots in a rebuilding season. But if they're giving you the most money and the others aren't coming in at where you want to be, what do you do? Play another year at San Fran?
You might have to. At the end of the day, he's really betting on himself right now to get some type of miraculous deal pulled off in a trade. Keep in mind, he's not an unrestricted free agent. Mike likes to constantly remind us that from the Enough Said podcast. It's not like he's just free to be signed. You got to work out a deal. And at this point, if he's making choices about where the trade's being, pulled off, it's a lot more to it. It seems like San Fran doesn't want to have any distractions going into this year because this is the last year they're going to be in Super Bowl contention. I think, after Brandon Ayuk, there's going to be a few dominoes. How long is Trent Williams going to be playing? He's up for another contract. He's old, in my opinion. I don't think paying him all the money is going to be smart. He's going to get some money from some team. But if I was San Fran, I look at that. And, you got Debo coming in. And how long is he going to be physical? You got Christian McCaffrey with a lot of miles from Carolina. They got a lot of question marks,
Correct. So, I mean, he might just be playing another year. Trent Williams is a whole nother conversation as well. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame left tackle, but he wants more money. And how many? What is he? 13-year vet, 14-year vet,
at least. And he's
13,
a left
14-year vet.
tackle, and he's not the healthiest left tackle. He's had
And
a
there
great
you go.
career. Don't get me wrong, but these are people that want to get paid for not winning a championship. And
Correct.
Purdy's another one. Are you going to pay Purdy all the money? You guys, again, enough said, Sal. You guys talk about, especially Dre talks about how much money Jalen Hurts got paid and how much money Tua got paid. The quarterbacks that get contracts are going to keep breaking records. So are you
Right.
going to pay Purdy Tua Tagovailoa money? I don't know.
So, all right, and I'm gonna let's see. Let's use one of those big corporate words. I'm gonna pivot here. Let's go. Let's take it back to with all this money we talking. And you just brought up Tua. You brought up Jalen. What does this mean for Dak Prescott?
Dak's
Because
gonna
it doesn't feel like they want to pay this man just yet.
Dak's
Well,
gonna, Dak's gonna cash in.
okay. And
Dak's
what?
gonna cash in. He's gonna have
Trevor Lawrence money?
even more. I think Dak might get a $300 million deal. He might see they might give him another 5 year 300. Something stupid. I think that's where the money's gonna go. That's probably why Jerry Jones isn't willing to give CD Lamb all the money right up front.
Mhm.
They might be thinking rebuild, but not really a rebuild because it's Dallas. But everybody knows they're still a few players away.
Yeah, yeah. But Mike says he will end up in San Fran and will get hurt or have an off year like everyone else that held out recently for San Fran.
Says the
That, my
49ers
friend,
fan.
is absolute facts, which is a big issue. It's a big issue, and that's the thing they run into. But you are 100% on the head when you talk about Dak, because it's not only Dak that's got the contract coming up; it's CD that has a contract coming up. It's Micah Parsons who has a contract coming up soon. And so you're talking if you're putting that kind of money into just those three people, you could be looking at 60% of your freaking, 60% of your budget tied up in the three people, let alone the other contracts. You got to spread that money and
They just paid
figure it
they
out.
just paid their
How to go around.
offensive linemen a lot of money too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So I mean, I think they're in a quandary right now. They gotta play out these final years and then make it and let it do what it do. But Mike, you get the head on the nail on the head. San Fran's got a big issue. They paid for a championship and it hasn't cashed in yet, and the check is coming due. The
You
check is
you,
really
you just hit the nail on the head with that.
yeah, the check is coming due. Not everybody can do what LA did. Not everybody can do what LA did because all the stars aligned and everything was perfect for LA to pay for that championship and get it done and go out, go on top. Now you see where they are right now. They're trying to figure things out. They got rid of Ramsey, and they're starting off young. They said, "Hey, we got what we needed. Now we're gonna build from the bottom up."
See
And
the
so that's what
problem.
they
See the
got to
problem
do.
is the problem, KDizzle, that people don't really always think about, in my opinion. Like when you compare the sports, when you were talking about LA, you were talking about the Lakers, right?
No, I was talking about the
Rams
Rams.
are the Rams.
Rams
Okay,
3 years ago paid for a championship,
same thing. I was on the fence of who you were talking about, but the Lakers paid for one too.
and they cashed in yet.
But my whole point is that the NFL is still a one and done playoff system, right? It's a one and done playoff system. So you
Right.
don't have chances. You don't have bad games that you can play and get away with. And
Mhm.
that's why Kansas City keeps winning Super Bowls because the nucleus of the team staying the same. They got Mahomes. Okay, they lost Tyreek Hill. Maybe Jerry Jones is thinking the same thing. I got Dak Prescott. Mahomes doesn't need Tyreek Hill to win Super Bowls, but I'm not saying that the Cowboys are the Chiefs. You
Right.
still got you still got Kelsey over there,
Mhm.
and you still got a decent defense that plays very well when the playoff time comes around. So these teams that got to spend all this money to try to put themselves in position to win the Super Bowl still can't beat Kansas City, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
That's all facts, no fiction, my guy. All facts, no fiction. So look, we got plenty of time to push forward. Shout out to Enough Said Podcast, both two of the four great guys that are in the chat right now. Go check them out on YouTube. They put out a series of episodes recently talking about the exact things we talk about, but more in depth. So make sure you go check them out. We are getting live and deep. We got 20 minutes left. We
Yeah,
get
we
to
rocking and rolling, man.
half the stuff. So let's do this. You want to, because this, I think this is going to touch some people, for real. We named this episode "Time to Break the Rules" because two things that we don't talk about at work. What are the two things? What are the two things, Harold?
Family and politics,
No, no. Politics and religion.
religion. Yeah.
Politics and religion are the two things we don't talk about at work. And this is one space we try to steer away from those two things. Uh, but we really need to talk about this. I know we're a little bit light and a little bit late in it, but it's important that we talk about it because we, everybody says the future's at stake every time, but it's always true when we say that. So um,
As I hit my J.
as you hit your J. Shout out to the FCC for hopefully making that super legal and people can put their money in the bank when they're dealing with cannabis. Do you know that was still illegal? Cannot be insured by the FDIC
Ah,
in certain states in this country. When you put your money in the bank, it has to be FDIC insured, and if it is not a considered a legal business, then they are not allowed to have those bank accounts in your major banks across the country.
still going to the
Um,
shoebox.
Yep, shoebox or going online. So, um, presidential 2024 race. So, about a month, was it a month ago, month and a half ago? We had a presidential debate against between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. And when Joe Biden and Donald Trump got on the stage, you and everybody else and myself, did you see the debate? Did you see it at all?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. We both said, God damn. What are we doing? We have two of the oldest people in the country trying to vie for our leadership. And this is the choice that we have.
It's like
So
watching your fighter go out there with two broken hands
it
and you
was such,
can't even see him throw a punch and it's painful. You just know that
you
this
know,
ain't gonna be a fight.
it was such a shock to the system that there was complete and utter panic, for the adults in the room. Complete and utter panic. They did not know how to respond and know what to do. And um, thankfully, you know, thankfully, our dear president, Joe Biden, who has spent his life in career public service, entire 60 years or whatever the heck it is, his entire life has been in public service, made a decision above himself to drop out of the race and say it's time for new leaders of this country to step up and lead the charge. And now we have on the Democratic ticket Kamala Harris, who has now picked a vice president running, Tim Walz, for candidacy for president of the United States. Okay. First of all, I'm gonna ask you a question because this was a reason why it took so long, and they were trying to figure out what the next steps were. Everybody was asking this question. I even asked it myself. Can she win?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. I believe she can too, but I think people were thinking of replacing the entire ticket, like not even, not even choosing her, not even choosing
Well,
her, not even thinking.
that would have been a risky move. See, I think Kamala Harris is in a position to benefit because they couldn't do that.
Mhm.
And not only does she have the ability to really reach certain voters of what she's going to grab immediately, how would the Democratic Party look if they went past her?
Mhm.
I think it would have been too much dissension within themselves to even go debate, and go up against a Donald Trump right now. It's a very interesting time. Trump is making a weird comeback. He's got his following, and I think the Democratic Party made the decision that they had to.
So, and that's what I want to talk about more than anything, because if anybody knows politics, if it always feels like, for me, it always feels like we never really had a choice of who we nominated to be the representative for us.
Right.
right? It never really felt like it always felt like for a very long time they chose who they wanted. Even though we had a primary, it's like the Democratic Party chose every time. They said, "Okay, you're going to be next. You're going to be next, and you're going to
They
be next."
position. They position people.
Correct, correct. So making a move like this, what does that say about our politics today? Are they really listening to the people? After that whole debacle on the debate stage with our good friend, God bless him, Joe Biden, looking old as hell. You pull up, Kamala Harris. Is the are our politics changing for the better, where our voices are being heard?
I mean, I just think that you know I don't really have a specific answer to that question because it's so difficult, KDizzle, to say. But
Hmm.
are we in a position to where they should have known that Biden's health wasn't up to par? Like, I don't think that that just happened overnight. You know, and did they wait that long to pull the plug on Biden for a specific reason? Like I said, they could have made that decision a long time ago,
Hmm.
and they could have talked to Joe Biden a long time ago about stepping down, but conveniently he waited until the fourth quarter. Once you wait that long, again, you can't go past Kamala Harris. And I'm not saying they should, but it's
Hmm.
not like they had a bullpen. In baseball, you got a bullpen. You start warming up pitchers once your starting pitcher is showing
Right.
he's getting tired, or once you know that he's getting to his pitch count.
Hmm.
And should politics go that route? Should the government have a quote unquote bullpen of people that are more visible throughout the 4 years of a term of a president? Because it's not like here you got a king and a queen.
Right.
We got a president, which we know is the face of a whole branch of government, but he's not necessarily pulling all the punches. There's a
Right.
whole House, there's a whole Congress. We all know how government works. So I think they should start putting more people out in positions of at least having impact with the people throughout the 4 years, so you can know more than just two people. Because there's something to be said that we can only choose from 2 to 3 people out of
Right.
billions of people. It just doesn't make sense.
Right. I got a lot of quarrels about the system on myself because as an independent voter, and I understand why it's built that way. But you have your primaries. I'm only allowed to vote in the general election, right? So in your primaries, you're only allowed to vote for your party line. So if you are a Democrat, you're allowed to vote for the Democratic nominees. If you're a Republican, you're allowed to vote for the Republican nominees. If you're an independent, you can only vote for an independent nominee. And if there are no independent nominees, then you don't have a say in who represents you until the general election comes about. So when you start getting into that minutia, that's where I think a lot of the issues. I think a lot of issues as it comes up now because you get to that and you have one person on this side, one person on that side. So um, I am all in for Kamala Harris. I'm glad that she stepped up and she chose a good running mate, and the fact that this change actually sparked hope because everybody's worried. I ain't gonna lie, a lot of people's worried about all this crazy stuff. I think July 4th weekend was the weekend. If you were on social media at all, that there was a loud and resounding notice to everybody online and saying, "Hey, you need to look at Project 2025 because Project 2025 talks about some super crazy shit that people have written up and saying that they want to do to our government and they want to do to our policy and how they want to ensure that whatever they decide, whatever they choose, uh, will and can and will be done without um, anyone getting involved or getting in their way." So, I mean, you're talking dismantling the Department of Education. You're talking getting rid of federal employees because of who they voted for or who they like. Um, you're talking just a bunch of crazy stuff, man. And all of these people, were a part of, you know, Trump's um, cabinet. All these people worked for him, and to hear him say he knows nothing about that, and literally everybody who orchestrated, who wrote part of that, worked for him. Is as far as that no one should ever believe. So Mike says, I think having only two significant choices of parties no longer works for this country. No party has all the answers. I agree. It is time for an independent party to break up some of this monotony. I think it should be um, uh, not a super majority where you have to get 60 to 40 votes, 61 to 50, 61 to 39 votes to pass laws in this country in the US Senate. It should be how many of ever votes vote for whatever policy it is. So it shouldn't be a two-thirds thing. I think it should be straight down the middle. A lot of our laws that and how we govern are outdated uh, because they were written 400 years, not 400 years ago, but freaking 600 years ago. When was the Declaration of Independence and when was this country founded? Um, I'm sorry for all your history buffs. I don't know it, but it's been a long time since we've been in there. But we need to change some things. And a part of that issue with us not changing those things is when you go back and people get afraid that you go back if you change too much, you change the foundation of what this country's built on. That ain't what it's about. It's about making things happen and making the right laws for the future. Because, like you said, just having two people, two parties doesn't work. It's not working and it hasn't been working. So we got to figure out a different way. But I am excited about this. I think it does spark a big change within our government, within our how politics works, that they are actually listening um, to what the country's saying, what people are saying, because if you, they wouldn't have made this decision if they weren't paying attention to what people were saying in the polls, if they weren't paying attention to what people said online. We would still have Joe Biden struggling at different events and stuff like that.
It just wasn't
Hey,
possible. They weren't gonna be able to pull it off.
the man's 81 years old.
Yeah.
The man is 81 years old, and you know what people do with people who are 81 years old? What do they do with them? Have
Put them away.
okay, they put they. And it's not. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I mean, you put people are put in hospice, people are put in adult living facilities, people are, so as a middle-aged person in America, looking at an 81 or even a 77 for Trump for that matter, an older gentleman in there representing me, we don't have the same values. We don't have the same wants. We don't have the same needs. We are from a different era. And that makes a huge difference. And if you're not involved or in tune to what the country needs, what I need for me and my family, then you gotta make some moves, player. Kamala Harris is here, Donald Trump is here. I think the right person is going to win as long as we vote, as long as we get out there and vote. So, man, I think breaking the rules for this historic election is the best thing that could have ever happened for this country. Um, and I think that we're in a time that they're going to be talking about, of course, in history books and all that shit. We were fortunate to live through 8 years of Obama, the first black president. No one knew that they would see that in our lifetimes. I didn't think we would see that. I had no fucking clue. All we do is just white people, white people, white people, white people, white people. But we got the possibility of having the first female president of the United States, and to tout the extra toppings on the ice cream, the fact that she's uh, black. I don't care if you can say she's Jamaican and Indian, Jamaican and Indian descent. Everybody knows in this country, okay, if you have anything of Anglo-Saxon or you look any different or you have darker skin, what are you called?
But my whole thing is this: like, what are we talking about, man? Especially coming from me, the lightest motherfucker on the internet. But Kamala Harris is black. She's going up against Donald Trump. We know who Donald Trump is. And it's a pick your poison election. One situation might not be the best because we don't really know what Kamala Harris is capable of. That's the only thing that I'm saying. Like, of course, we
But
know, we know a lot of the fearful things that can happen the other side if you go that route. But I just hope and still, cross my fingers and say if she does win, that we're still in good hands. I'm being optimistic. I think that we'll be in better hands, than what we're in now. But I'm not really interested in seeing Quavo and Meg Thee Stallion at rallies and stuff like that either. That's kind of
How you feel? Tell them how you really feel.
just speaking for myself. Meg Thee Stallion. I don't really need to see you out there talking to me about who to vote for. But that's just the whole game. That's just the whole charade.
You already know what that is. You know, dude. They're peddling for influence, and not everything works for everybody. I agree wholeheartedly. Look, people are gonna support who they want to support, and that being said, at the end of the day, there's nothing we can do other than just vote to make sure that we hopefully elect the people that we want that are in office. The only thing we can do if you want to really get granular is get on a local level and get involved with what's going on around in your city. So you
Why
know
don't you
what
just run for president, K Dizzle?
me? Hell
Yeah,
no.
man.
I do podcasts like this
Vote
and
for K Dizzle. Vote for K Dizzle DC, man.
I talk too much shit on a regular basis. It's not gonna happen. I always said life of politics is not for me. Um, not at all. At least I don't think right now. But I got a lot of shit on the internet. Real talk. Got a lot of shit on the internet. But no, man. Just wanted to quick touch that because I think it's important that if we don't address what the issue is on hand in this tumultuous time in our lives, then we're missing the mark if we don't talk about it.
and it's all opinion, man. We're not right. We're not saying everything we say is law, but just like we always talk about topics. It's an open platform, and everybody's got their right to express how they
And
feel.
it's okay. It is okay to have people who don't believe the same things that you do. If you
Absolutely.
have friends in your life that are Trump supporters, it's okay. Okay? If you have friends in your life that are Harris supporters, it's okay. It's okay to disagree with people and still be friends with them. It's all right. As long as they ain't racist or do crazy shit to you, it's cool. You are allowed to have different opinions, allowed to have different views. You keep a certain amount that you can handle in your life to make sure that you're there to give them the other side of the coin, when talking about certain things, because not everybody has that. If you're around the same people all the time and you're not growing and not showing you anything, you need to make sure you find some conflicting opinions. That's going to help you grow, help you see things differently, or
Well
just
said.
for that matter, learn some new shit. So just look, man. Let's get through this election. Let's get on some other shit. Because once they get in office, we can't do nothing about it. We can't do nothing about it. Get
Right.
involved in your local stuff. Pay attention to what's going on in your neighborhood, in your community. Get involved in that way. Some of y'all don't even go to your kids' school, and that's all right. We're gonna talk about that later. Y'all don't go to no PTAs, nothing like that. Your kid be missing school and all of that shit. But get involved. If you're gonna really make a difference in your community, your life, get involved in everything that you do. Make sure you're a part of it. 110%. That's why we breaking the rules a little bit. Damn, we
Well
missed all.
said. Well said, K Dizzle DC.
Bro, I'm so mad because you flying Spirit. It sent me in a whole different
Oh,
attitude. I can't believe you did that to yourself.
I can't believe
It's all right.
Shanae picked it. But
Budget is the budget. But
last minute, you know how you get the tax when you buy a plane ticket last minute, and
oh
they
yeah.
and they just they beat our ass that night. Mm, mm, mm.
look, look. Let me take this goddamn ticker off, man. Shout out to our Olympic break dancers. Shout out to the biggest griffin in human history, the representative for Australia. But more importantly, I'm gonna do this tonight. Shout out to Have Streams Media on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, everywhere. You can find that man. Make sure you go love, like, and support all of the videos that he has now and coming out. You can find me anywhere: Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, IG as well, Facebook, ADU podcast, Facebook, as well as Instagram. You got any questions, you want to get on, you want to talk about whatever you want to talk about, all dressed up podcast at gmail.com. Send us your information. I had a good friend. I should have called tonight. I got a good friend, some politics. Too late for that now. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts is coming to an end, but we're on there right now too. You can say, "Hey Alexa, play All Dressed Up Podcast." episode 101, and that month come up and pull us up and get in your living room. Okay. We do this because we love it, but more importantly, we do this because of the support you guys are here every time that we are up and we're live, and we appreciate you. And the only way we get better at this is with your consent and also your feedback. More importantly, you tell more people about us. So we're always going to be in the same lane. We do it because we love it, not because we're looking for anything more than that. It's going to do what it's supposed to do when we're supposed to do it. We're working on things, like Hef is working on things to get things more out there and in there. So without further ado, Hef.
Hey, man, I want to say KDizzle, man, always wraps everything up so eloquently, man. Great job tonight. I want to thank everybody that joins the All Dressed Up podcast when we go and we do these live shows, because without you guys, it really wouldn't make that much sense. And I really appreciate the support. I know it sounds cliche, but it means a lot to both of us, man. So stick with us. And if I can leave you with anything tonight, consistency, KDizzle.
Yes.
Consistency. Just keep doing what you love. If it's something that you want to do it, and do it often as much as you can, because the more and more you do it, the more and more it's going to become real if it's something that you want. So that's what I want to leave you with.
I'm glad you said that, because you know what we got to do. I almost forgot, and it's on the showrunner. Okay, we have to schedule, because this is coming from our last episode. All right, and I will not let you desecrate Breezy's name like that. Okay, we're going to schedule a versus IG Live. Okay, IG Live versus Usher versus Chris Brown, and we're going to settle the debate.
You still really want to do this, man?
I still really want to do this. I want to do this. I don't care what your mouth say. I want to do this.
That's crazy.
We're going to schedule this IG Live, Chris Brown versus Usher live stream versus on IG. We're going to do it on IG. Okay.
This guy still is trying to bring
Breezy. I mean,
Team Usher against Usher.
Team Usher, Team Good. I know what you're doing. But this is what it's going to be. So we're going to figure out that this week, make that happen. All right. So that I will never take another L like Busta Rhymes ever in my life again. Shout out to the underdogs. That's how we're going to end episode 104. We love y'all. We'll see y'all soon.
You know, and I know, and they know, cause we know, we go all in, and I know, they know, cause we know.